What's up, rad people? Sharing scary stories is a big part of the Halloween season. So to kick off Halloween Fest 2015, here are 3 original short scary stories I wrote that have to do with Halloween traditions. They're based off of 3 personal fears I have that resurface every Halloween season. So let's get to it. Number 3, sweet treats. A mother and her 2 children arrived home after an evening spent trick-or-treating. Before the children had the chance to gobble up their sweet treats, the mom checked the candy to make sure it looked safe. None of the wrappers appeared to have been tampered with, so she let her children have at it. With full bellies and satisfied cravings, the 2 children were soon ushered to bed. Once they were asleep, the mom decided to curl up on the couch and dig into their sticky stashes. With her eyes glued to the slasher film on the TV screen, she grabbed a chocolate bar without looking and took a bite. A few chews in and she noticed the candy had an odd crunch to it. She looked down at the other half of the candy bar and the sight made her stomach churn. There were dozens of tiny bugs embedded in the chocolate, their bodies wiggling from the disturbance. As she made this nightmarish realization, she felt a tickle at the corner of her mouth. Number 2, new decorations. Halloween was his favorite holiday. He loved everything about this time of year, especially decorating his house. So on October 1st, he went into his backyard shed to find the scary decorations he had saved from last year. He rummaged through the clutter until he found the weathered box he was looking for. He pulled back the flaps to peek inside and he was greeted with a mound of gray fur. The box was filled with a decoration he couldn't recall buying the year previous. But having been a sucker for after Halloween discounts, almost every year he would find something he had forgotten about. So he pulled the box out to get a better inspection of its contents. As the box moved, he heard a scuttling noise from within the cardboard container. Instinctively, he dropped the box and as it hit the ground, a dozen rats poured out. What he thought were just super realistic decorations he must have bought on sale turned out to be a huge nest of sleeping rats he'd just awoken. Number 1, best costume of the night. After leaving the Halloween costume store unimpressed and empty-handed, a man decided to make his own frightening getup. Wanting to be the scariest looking creature at the party, he watched a bunch of different YouTube videos to learn how to accomplish his goal by using liquid latex on his face. All the videos and even the side of the bottle warned of possible side effects to the latex, but he was on a time crunch and didn't have the 24 hours to complete the recommended patch test. The second the goopy sponge touched his skin, he could feel a dull burning sensation. By the time he was finished adding the final globs of crimson cornstarch on the corner of his mouth, his skin was hot and every pore stung beneath the thick layers. He was proud of his disgusting appearance and didn't want his efforts wasted, so he pushed past the discomfort and went to the annual gathering anyway. His decision was instantly rewarded when he stepped foot into the house of partygoers as they all came up to ogle at his intense costume. As the night went on, the pain subsided to numbness. Without the constant reminder of his aching skin, he was able to enjoy being the center of attention. People went from being grossed out to being utterly fascinated with how realistic his mask appeared to look. A small group of people even gathered around to try to determine where the latex ended and his skin began. In the midst of their debate, someone used their finger to poke his face, causing a chunk of flesh-colored gunk to slide off with their pointer. Laughing at their nauseated look, he went to the bathroom to touch up the spot. He looked back at the mirror with confusion. Where his bare skin should have been, he found oozing pus instead. He panicked, shut his eyes, and began to roughly scrub off the makeup. He reopened his eyes to find the water running red and the sink covered in huge clumps of what looked like skin. Horrified, his gaze slowly rose to his reflection and he let out a blood-curdling scream. His skin had a severe allergic reaction and the latex caused his face to erupt in boils and blisters. When he violently scrubbed away the makeup, his fragile skin went away with it too. He got his wish of having the most realistic and gory costume of the night, It just came with a bigger price tag than he had planned. So moral of the 3 stories, knock on a box before picking it up, look before you eat, and listen to the directions and do the patch test first if you've never used liquid latex before. Thank you so much for watching the very first video of Halloween Fest 2015. If you're not yet part of our Radtastic community, hit that subscribe button to join today and you'll be notified when the next Halloween Fest video is posted. You're not going to want to miss out on these nightmares. Until next time, bye!